Welcome to another edition of Benny Me Crafts. Today we're going to learn how to make a pocket flag for our military troops. This is a really great community service project for your girls, and we're going to be actually doing some upcycling because we're going to use some flags that were not made quite correctly, and we can't use them, and so we're going to use those to make our pocket flags. So we're doing a good job for the environment and for our military troops. So this is the pocket flag, a finished version, little teeny tiny guy. And then there's a tag also that comes with it. And it says, here's a pocket flag so you can always carry a little piece of home. We are praying for you and we are proud of you. Thank you for defending our country and our freedom. And then what our troop did is we actually put, I used the company, the Benny Me Crafts address, and we put our troop number on there with that address. And then that way, someday we might hear from somebody who actually got one of our pocket flags. And it's a nice way for them to get in touch if they want to. And then the bag. So, materials for today. You are going to need the flags, okay, which you will have gotten for your troop. And you will also need some plastic bags. These are just resealable plastic bags. This size, you can see when I lay it down on the squares there, this is a 2-inch by 3-inch bag, and that is as small as you can go to fit the tag inside. So if you want that tag to go in, that's the size you want. If you could go a little bigger, you could do a 3x4, and these bags are available at the craft stores. They're usually in the jewelry section, but the resealable or reclosable bags is what they're called sometimes. So you're going to need those bags, and then the flags, and then the labels. What I did, or what our troop did, is we used labels. Because once the flag's folded, it's mostly blue and white, because the blue and white stars are the only thing that show. I decided it would be nice for us to add that little red touch, so we used just address labels. The ones that come 30 per sheet. The Avery number for the address labels is 5160, but you don't have to use Avery. You can use the generic brands or the store brands, but the Avery number is 5160. And we printed the saying, you can fit 30 per sheet, and I will have that template available for you. And then we also printed our label that went on the back, our return label. And then we just got some red scrap paper. You don't have to use cardstock. It can be construction paper. I have a big container of it, so we just pulled the scraps and we stuck the labels on both sides of the red, and so that gave it a little red pop of color. So there's your finished product, and those are the things you're going to need. So labels, label sheets, the red paper, your flags, and your plastic bags. Now, if you don't want to go buy the label sheets, you can also print the message just on paper, on white paper or red cardstock, maybe a little dark, but you can try lighter color, different colors, just experiment with it, and then just cut those out. You don't have to use the labels, but labels are just a nice way to kind of frame the text. So, okay, so this is how we're going to begin. Let me get all these out of the way. A couple of things about the flags you're going to get. These flags are easy to take off the wooden pole, okay? So you take them off the wooden pole, and then on the side, the left side, you're going to have the white piece that went on the pole, that kept the flag on the pole. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can cut the white piece off, okay? I've tried both ways just so that you could kind of see. So I cut this, for this one I cut it off, excuse me, right here, and got rid of that, okay? And then I also went and, for some, I actually used a seam ripper, okay? And I actually ripped the seam. And the reason I did that is to keep this little bit of extra fabric, okay? It doesn't really go with the flag, but it gives you a little extra fabric. And the reason I ended up trying both ways is because if you cut, this end does fray. It's going to fray a little bit. Now, can you work with that until you get the flag folded? Yes. See, here's a great, you can see it now. It's And I tried it. You can do it, but if you think that might get in the way of your girls, if they're taking some time folding, then you can do the seam ripper method, and you'll have this end, and it won't fray on you, and you'll have a little bit extra material to do your tucking at the very end. So totally up to you. Obviously, using the seam ripper and ripping the seam's going to take a little longer than the cutting, but you can try both ways and see what you think for your age girls, what's going to work. Okay, now the directions for folding I'll also have available, but it's very simple. You're going to take the bottom of your flag, put the flag as you would see it. Take the bottom of your flag, and you're going to fold it up to the top, long ways, hot dog style is what we call that in school. Okay, and then you're going to fold it one more time. Okay, and at this point you're gonna want to iron it. Okay, now could you fold it without ironing? Probably, but your girls might get just a little bit frustrated. So at this point, if you iron, that is a good that'll help you for the fold. Okay, so we'll iron, and then we'll come right back and we'll start the folding process. All right, so now we have our folds ironed flat, so they won't be coming up on you when you go to do your triangle folding. And so you're going to start with the red and white striped end, and basically what you're doing is just alternating triangles. Okay, so you'll fold, and then you'll fold up, and then you'll go across diagonal, and as you go you want to kind of tighten it, make sure that the triangle is taking shape. The great thing about this is if you mess it up, you can unfold it and start again. So there is no worries there, no pressure. Okay, and then pretty soon you're going to get into the blue and white stars section, and then you're going to get to the point where you're at the end and you've got to do something. Okay, so your end piece here, this is where the flag I'm using is a flag that I use a seam ripper on, and I took out that white piece, so I don't have any fraying, but this is where you get some fraying on the ends if you don't. If you end up cutting the flag, cutting that white piece off. So, you might play with it first before the girls do it and just kind of see what works best. So at this point, you're going to be just tucking this extra piece down into, there's a little fold there, a little flap there. And so just use your thumb. I used a couple different things. I used the ends of some scissors to tuck it down in. Tweezers might work a little bit. Just, I don't know, figure out what, something that little wood, even the pole of the flag might work, might be a little, just to help it, get it down in there. Okay, and once you've got it, then you're going to use your hot glue gun, and I try and get it kind of down in there, a little squirt. Oops, I go on my ends. And just press it a bit until it dries. You can wipe off the excess. And there you go. You got your flag. Now, what I found works best is do a couple of them, and the girls can figure out kind of what their strengths are. Some will be better at folding, some will be better at ironing, some will be better at using the hot glue gun, or maybe the troop leaders do that part. Some will be better at tucking, and you can actually do an assembly line and have everybody do what they're good at and what they enjoy the most. So there you go. You got a little pocket flag. When it's all folded, only the stars and the blue should show. And then you're going to take that with your tag. So if you're using a label, you'll just get your scrap of red paper. You'll peel one of your address labels off. Okay, and this is another thing. Some of the girls can be doing this, can be doing the tags. You can put a bunch of tags on one piece of paper and then cut them all at once. And let me do this one for you so you can see. You cut around it. It goes pretty fast once you end up getting a lot of them going. And then on the back, what we do, like I said, is we put the label so people know how to contact us if they want to. Or another neat thing to do on the back is just have each girl handwrite their first name. And then that way the soldier that gets it knows who made it. And that's kind of neat as well. So you have your flag, and there's your tag. You're going to take your baggie. And this is another thing. You're going to have girls that are good with the baggies. sealing them and opening them, sealing them, getting all the air out. 'Cause you want to try and get all the air out of the bag so it's not super puffy when you go to ship them. Okay, so all the label templates and information about where to purchase supplies and address for where to send them to and all that is going to be available along with a video. Girls, just have fun and remember you're doing a really great thing for our military. See you next time.